Back when I was a wee little lad of the age of 5, my brother decided to gift me his copy of Ocarina of Time on the N64 while he moved on to the PlayStation 1. Honestly, I don't know when those two release dates were coincided. I feel like the PS1 came first, but anyway, regardless of that, he decided that he did not want to play the N64 anymore, so he gifted it to my sister and I, and Ocarina of Time was actually my first ever 3D game, my first ever N64 game of all time. Probably why I have such a love-hate relationship with it, and my nostalgia is very twisted in how much I love/hate that game. But anyway, I did a whole lot of running around and not really knowing where the fuck to go as a kid. As a 5-year-old, you might know how to read a little bit, but you're not really paying attention to the dialogue of where to go. So I did a lot of wandering around in Hyrule Field, just went to the towns and talked to the people to, just kind of feel like I was immersed in the world and whatnot. But something that, something happened that I didn't really know would spark a lot of nightmares and crying. When you wander down to Lake Hylia, you come across this open field, and then if you make your way to the left a little bit, right before you dive underwater to take the shortcut into Zora's domain, you come across a little Scarecrow man. And what I just learned, thanks to the Zelda wiki, there's two of them, I knew that, but one of them is named Bonooru, and one of them is named Pierre. They all look the same, so for the sake of my sanity, I'm just going to call them the Scarecrow. So, you come across the Scarecrow, and, at first glance, it just seems fine, it just seems like a Scarecrow. That wasn't what really, set me off as a kid. Like, the design of the Scarecrow isn't really what's terrifying, but for some reason, when if you don't know, the whole point of the Scarecrows is that when you play a song as a kid, you teach Bonooru, I believe, a song, and it'll remember that song, so when you turn into an adult, you can summon the Scarecrow in certain places to help you traverse areas better. Something I didn't utilize as a kid hardly at all. And maybe now that I'm kind of unpacking this childhood trauma, this might be the reason why. When you teach the song to the Scarecrows, they do like a little dance, they do a little dance and they make a little noise. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm trying to recall back to my earliest memory, I don't think even I was the one in control when this first happened and I realized that I was afraid of it. I think my sister and her friend were playing and I was just watching them. And so when you go to teach the Scarecrow the song, and then he starts doing his little shimmy, he starts dancing, and this shaking noise starts to happen, and just his blank face, for some reason that just unlocked nightmare fuel in my 5-year-old brain, and I would violently cry all the time, no matter what. For some reason, the noise and the act of him shaking violently just made me burst into tears and scream and run away. So much so to where my sister started using it against me as a weapon, because older siblings always love to pick on their younger siblings. So when she realized that that was something that actually got me to cry and to be really scared, when her friends would play it, they would purposely make the Scarecrow dance because, I was just a little 5-year-old little baby boy. I just wanted to hang out and be included. I want my sister's friends to be my friends too. And that would be her way to make me go away, was to go to Lake Hylia and try to teach the Scarecrow a song, so I would be terrified and cry and run away. And so much so to where sometimes I would dream about it and I would have nightmares for as long as I could remember. Up until I was really 8 or so. I can't hit a definite age on it. It's really hard to pinpoint when that stopped and I just kind of got over it. It's actually something that I kind of forgot about for a while, it's just it kind of turned into a childhood repressed memory that, it took a lot of soul searching and digging to remember that, oh yeah, I fucking hated these as a kid. That's right. That's probably why, maybe there's some deeper psychological things to be dug here. Maybe I have some traumatic ties with Lake Hylia, and maybe that's why I don't like the water temple as much, just blaming a whole bunch of different side things on different things, but, I just thought that it was interesting. I was just looking back with how primal and how, like, new 3D modeling was and how hard it, you know, like, for Nintendo, it's brand new. They went from the SNES to the N64, so, like, things in the 90s were very polygonal in, like, the early 2000s, so it was hard to not make something not look terrifying like that. And I'm really surprised, honestly. I'm surprised that the Scarecrow was what made me cry and have nightmare fuel, and not the fucker at the bottom of the well. I forget his name, but, you know, the big white thing with the long neck and the like, the blood and the skulls everywhere. I have no childhood recollection of that scaring me as a child. Maybe it just scared me so bad that I just, like, put it in the vault and forgot about it completely? Maybe. But I don't remember that part giving me any sort of grievances, but the fucking Scarecrow who just does his little dance and he just shakes around all wildly. No, for some reason that, in my 5-year-old brain, was like, yeah, man, this is it. This is what's gonna cause you nightmares for, like, years to come. I will say the Redeads. The Redeads also scared me a little bit, but the thing that helped me with the Redeads that my brother showed me, actually, was the Sun Song. So, like, the Redeads weren't that scary to me, because if I came across one, I would, like, kind of start to freak out, and I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, like, I could play the Sun Song, it'll freeze them, it's totally fine. So, like, there was nothing for that for the Scarecrow. If anything, playing the song for the Scarecrow made him jump for joy, which was what ailed me, which is what made me terrified, so. But yeah, that's just something I kind of wanted to dive into and talk about a little bit. But, maybe it's something I make another video on, so I don't want to touch it too heavily here, but a very similar scenario happened with Banjo-Kazooie and a lot of the designs in that game, which is why I didn't play Banjo-Kazooie until last year when I streamed it for the first time over at my Twitch. So, because my brother had Banjo-Kazooie, and I tried playing it, and a very similar thing happened. I would just get scared and cry and turn the N64 off. So, but with that in mind, I do appreciate you guys watching. I really do appreciate it. Hope all is well, and again, let me know down in the comments if there was some sort of character in any sort of game, young or old, that made you feel that way as well, to where you just had to turn off the console and go cry in a corner. Because, man, this is like kind of feels like a therapy session right now, where I'm in a confessional and I'm just, you know, airing my dirty laundry and processing my past trauma and healing my inner child. Because now I just avoid the Scarecrow at all costs, because, again, I've never used the Scarecrow functionality to, like, summon it and traverse different areas, so maybe it's connected to my deeper issues being terrified as a kid. But hope you guys all have a good day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, Girl Scouts.